was under the control, CBS Records was under the control of Lawrence Tish. Lawrence Tish has multiple links to the Jewish mob, and we're going to talk about that too. Now, what's the guy's name? Yetnoff. Remember Yetnoff, who, close friend of Clive Davis. Yetnoff had with his power ended an investigation. The recording industry associated, there was an investigation. He was able to end that. Lawrence Tish, the billionaire head of Lowe's Corporation and a founding member of the Leslie Wexner and Charles Brofman brokered mega group. Okay, Leslie Wexner, Jewish, Charles Brofman, Jewish. Okay. And like I said, I want to name the races because that's what I want to do. It's my show. Now, Andre Harrell, before he leaves, he hires, what's this guy's name? Leor Little Lansky Cohen, Jewish as well. Now, Little Lansky, who's Meyer Lansky, y'all know the mobster Meyer Lansky, who's Jewish as well. He forced out Def Jam co-founder Rick Rubin, who was Jewish as well. Okay, now in the 90s, the Brosman one of the Brosmans became a top executive at Warner Music. Right now, there are 3 big music groups. You have UMG, what are the other 2? Sony, I can't remember. They're all Jewish run. All right, they're all Jewish run. What you saying? He's in Bali. Okay, that makes sense. Laws are probably a little lax there in Bali. Now, Uptown received a $50 million distribution deal with MCA. And then remember, Andre Harrell has links to Warner Music, all of that. Now, he also had ties to some drug dealers in New York. It's giving very Empire. All right. Actually, do they sell drugs in Empire? I don't know. But yeah, anywho, like I told you, he ended up hiring Albie Shore's model girlfriend. Albie Shore, you were stupid for doing that. And Diddy stole your woman. And that's what happened. All right. Now, moving right along. Where are we at? All right. Oh, Simmons. Where are we at? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, here's the rub with the mega group. Lexley Werner, Charles Brofman. Yeah, I told you they broke with that mega group. Well, Wexner ended up retaining Epstein as his financial manager 1987 through 2007. You see where you're picking up what I'm putting down? All these people are connected and they all seem to be the same race, it seems like. All right, now moving right along. Okay, so we're gonna put a pin in this and we're gonna just do a little brief recap right now because there's so much going on. All right, now, Diddy had a drug dealer father who had ties to Frank Lucas and the Gambinos, the Gambino crime family. Gambino crime family had him killed, allegedly for snitching. Combs was a model in his youth, procured models for sex parties like Epstein in his Millen High School, was crawling with PDF files that abused children. At Howard, he physically beat his girlfriend. And he was shadowed Jewish party promoter Rosenblum, and went to a lot of freaky parties. And she introduced him to New York's club kids. The club kids are kind of like weirdo, freak-looking people like RuPaul. All right. He got a job as an intern at Uptown Records. Harrell was connected to various Jewish executives and associated with drug dealers, and got his distribution deal. Harrell was groomed by Clive. Harrell worked for Simmons. Simmons has many rape allegations. Harrell hired Israeli Jewish person Leor Cohen, and Leor Cohen ousted Rick Rubin at Def Jam. Okay, so that's where we are. Oh, my girl's here. Okay, thank you. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Nora. Nora's with me because now I can pull up the video while Nora does the commentary. Nora this is a hot mess, man. Like this stuff.
Yeah, I knew some of this, but you taught me a lot of stuff tonight. I was listening on the way here.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Something to think about. Not everybody.
Mhm.
There's a lot of black
Yes.
people. There's a lot of black people and there's a lot of Jewish people. How you doing, Laura? Are
I
you there?
mean,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Uh-oh, I think it's you because usually when I'm laggy, I see it on my side. Hello? Uh-oh, is it me? Maybe it's me. Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what was going on with my Wi-Fi. I had to move
Yeah.
because they
Oh,
lost. Dang it. You
I'm
there, Nora?
here. Yeah, yeah, I'm here. They said it was he
Oh,
said
why
I was
can't I
good.
hear you?
I left.
Okay, there you are.
Can
There
you
you
hear
are.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My
Okay.
my my sound was down. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm sorry I was late.
Girl, no problem. Okay, so dang it, everybody. Oh no, they're still on X. Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Something to think about. Okay. All right. So where did we leave off? Oh, so back to the associates of at Warner Brothers. So Andre Harrell. After Andre Harrell was working at Def Jam, Andre Harrell also became a consultant on the movie New Jack City. The movie New Jack City.
Oh, I didn't know that. Once sorry.
Yes, yes. He was put on. Was a consultant at New Jack City. New Jack City, cult classic. We all know it. New
Mhm.
you said that's Joe Biden's Wi-Fi. Look, I have files. I don't know what's going on. I gotta get because I can't be having this. This
Is
isn't
that
even
supposed
studio.
to be good in your area? I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, Verizon Fios. Yeah, that's the fiber optics one. It's supposed
Okay, I have fiber optics too.
yeah. Um so anyway, he comes on to be a consultant on New Jack City. All right. New Jack City, huge cult classic. Funny story about New Jack City. You guys took me to New Jack City in the theater, you guys. Okay. I'm going to tell my age.
You saw it?
I
Oh
saw
my
the
gosh,
movie
Kelly.
with my brother. My parents took me to the movie theater. I'm going to tell you the theater we went to. Marlow Heights Movie Theater in Maryland. If you guys know Maryland, you know what theater I'm talking about. I was 6 years old. I went to see New Jack City. I was 6 years old. And I remember that freaking movie. Yes, it definitely was a classic. I remember that movie. And I remember being in the theater and being scared because remember, I'm 6. I was scared of the dark. So I'm
And
like,
shooting, right? They're shooting in it, right? If I
they're
remember. It's been a
shooting,
while
they're
since I've seen it.
stabbing, they're doing
And there's
drugs.
is there sex too? I haven't seen that movie in so
I
long. I
don't
just remember it was like gang stuff.
Yes, yes. And I'm gonna tell you what I
And
do
now I'm showing
remember.
my age because I I was way
No, no,
before
no.
my
I
time.
no, I'm gonna tell you what I remember about New Jack City too. I remember there was a scene when the girls were like cooking up the dope, like
Yeah,
packaging
I
the
do
dope,
remember that.
and they were naked. And I remember
Yes, yes.
thinking,
Okay, okay. I did see that. Okay, yes.
I remember I had this thought. I said, "Oh, they're not supposed to be naked." Because I'm a little kid, like, oh, they're naked out here. So I remember that, and I remember them stabbing what's his name? I can picture him. Christopher William, and I think it was Christopher Williams in the hand. He had this like cane, and it was like a pole in the cane, and he stabbed him in the hand. And I remember that freaking me out at 7 years old, 6 years old. And I asked my parents when I got grown, and I was like a teenager or something. I asked my parents, I was like, why did y'all take me to see that movie? Like, why did y'all do that? And you want to know why they did it?
They couldn't find a babysitter.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I've been in situations going, oh, maybe I shouldn't have had my kid be exposed to that.
Girl, they had me and my brother was in there, and my mom said, well, you were supposed to fall asleep. Right, exactly. That's
You wasn't gonna fall asleep during that.
girl. I don't know. I probably had a nap that day. I don't know, but exactly something to think about. They were naked, so then because they didn't trust them to steal.
Right.
You know, my 6-year-old butt. All I knew was like, they're naked and they're naked in here. This is but I didn't know what the drugs were. But I just know, they're not supposed to be naked, and that stabbing that man in the hand. That was kind of scary. Okay, now back to the story. On here it is again. New Jack City. Yeah. So New Jack City had a budget of $8 million and they made $50 million. So they recouped their money. Now, Warner Brothers, y'all already know where I'm going to go with this. Warner Brothers was backed by New York crime lords Manny Kimmel, Abner Long, Zawillman, and Zawillman was a close associate of Myron and Sam Brock. Manny was a Jew, Abner was a Jew, Okay, was Ross. Oh, Ross was the one that built up the empire of Warner Brothers. Ross.
Kelly, the sound is not clear. There's something going on with it.
Okay. Let me see. Can you hear
It's
me
weird.
now?
Yeah.
Can you can't hear me now?
Yeah, but before I couldn't, and they couldn't either because they're complaining. I thought it was me. I'm like, what?
Okay. I'm in this house. I gotta fix this because we got that show tomorrow and I cannot have my
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
and that's gonna be a big show.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may have to come upstairs for it. Okay. So this is what I was saying. So Ross, who was Ross? Ross was one of the mobsters. Ross was, because remember we're talking about Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers did the movie New Jack City. So the guy that founded Warner Brothers, what was his name? I just had it up. Okay. Steve Ross. Steve Ross built up Warner Brothers. Steve Ross was backed by New York crime lords Manny Kimmel, Abner Zwill, and Meyer, who Zwill was an associate of Meyer Lansky and Sam Brothman. Okay, Steve Ross was a Jew, Manny Kimmel was a Jew, Abner Z. Willman was a Jew, close associate of Meyer Lansky. Meyer Lansky was a Jew. Sam Brothman was a Jew. Okay, I just like to give people. I just like for people to know the races, so that's what I'm going to do the whole show. All right, and I do that anyway. So now Ross, who became Warner executive, later frequented Robert Maxwell's yacht in the late 1980s. Robert Maxwell, if you don't know, is the father of Ghislaine Maxwell, who was close with, we all know, Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, now, where was I going with Maxwell? Maxwell was also rumored to be Israeli Mossad, and Jeffrey Epstein was rumored to be Israeli Mossad too. Okay, so, is the audio better, Nora?
Much better. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I would tell you if it wasn't.
Okay, so moving right along. Now we're going to get into MCA records. Now remember MCA, and I remember MCA being, because I actually used to like pay attention to music when I was a kid. I knew MCA was backed was did the distribution for Uptown Records, and I remember Uptown because like I said, Uptown had Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Albie Shore, Guy, like they were all signed to Uptown, and Guy was known for the Jack City, what was it called? New Jack City Swing. I think that was like the genre of the music, and this was like huge back then. So I remember all of that, even though I was like a youngster. So anyway, MCA, you guys, MCA was it was like a friggin' crime This stuff is like a movie. Like when we see the movies, and it's so dark right here. When we see, let me cut this light on. When we see the movies of like these crime movies or whatever, or it's like somebody that starts a record label and they're like backed by, case in point, BMF, which BMF was based off real life. This was the Jewish BMF. Okay. This was the freaking Jewish BMF. All of these people are connected to mob seedy underbelly stuff. Okay. Like all of it. But because they're not black and they are of a different tribe, they're much more powerful and they dabble into politics. Now, anyway, moving right along, MCA. So, the MCA executive was a man by the name of Lou Wasserman. Where are we at on the thing? And you guys got to read this article. Like it's really a good read. So, Lou Wasserman.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, no, I was just telling you the second paragraph.
Okay. So Lou Wasserman, he joined the company in 1936. So we're going back in the day. Lou Wasserman had close ties to Meyer Lansky, again, Jewish mobster, and Mo Dalitz, another Jewish mobster.
I
Okay.
didn't know there were Jewish mobs. Like I learned something new just now. I know there's
Okay.
Italian and Irish ones.
Well, here's the thing. With the Jewish mob, because I actually know a lot about this because I used to watch The Sopranos and Goodfellas and all that stuff back in the day. If you remember, hey Art, if you ever watched The Sopranos, there was a Jew. There was one guy, it was one guy that was a Jew. If you watch
The Goodfellas, there's one too.
Exactly. If you watch Casino, Sam Rothstein, which is real guy, he was a Jew. All these crime families, there's always a Jew. This isn't me being racist, it just is what it is. There's always a Jew. And I looked it up. There are a lot of Jewish mobsters, like probably as many as Italian, but people just think
see that's
Irish.
that stereotype because you just think Italian, but there's Russian, there's Irish, there's Jewish.
And the Jewish ones, I don't know. They seem to do better than the rest from my as far as getting money. From what my research has showed, they thrive the best. And remember Meyer Lansky, think about it. Do you remember Dutch Schultz? Okay. Do you remember Bumpy Johnson? Okay, Bumpy Johnson, Harlem back in the day, Bumpy Johnson worked for Dutch Schultz. Dutch Schultz was a Jew. See, we watch these movies. Right. Yes, they never say it. Like I remember hearing about Meyer Lansky. I was a whole grown adult until when somebody told me he was a Jew. Like I was like, oh wow, that was good. So it's a lot of them. They are Jewish. They just don't say they're Jewish in the movies. Maybe because these movie theaters are Jewish run, they think it'll look negatively on their people. I don't know. But yeah, they do.
Maybe because after World War II, everything was like, you can't touch on that, you can't talk about that. And that might be why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say the word without saying the word. Yeah.
Yes. I think that's a good point. That is a good point. So yeah. So Lou Wasserman, remember, head of MCA Records, has these ties to Meyer Lansky and Mo Dalitz. Well, Wasserman at MCA was responsible for the political career of Ronald Reagan. Now, that's right, Bugsy Siegel as well. Thank you, Luxury Bucket List. Now, think about it. What was his career before being president?
He's an actor.
Exactly. And I told you who was running these picture shows. That's what they called them back in the day. And they were financially backed by the Jewish mob. So it's all connected. It's all connected.
And the production companies. Well, I don't know if you touched on that, but yes.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying, Artifacts. So moving right along, y'all, man. So here it is. There it is. And there he is,
Wow.
MCA Lou Wasserman on the left with Nancy Reagan and Ronald Reagan in the White House in
Is he
19.
alive still?
Hmm?
The Wasserman dude, is he alive still?
He's got to be dead.
He's gotta be there.
Yeah, he's got that was because he was old in 1988, so he's got to be dead. Now,
Yeah.
as we see here, he was responsible for the political career of Ronald Reagan and
Mm.
Wasserman and other top MCA executives such as Taft Schreiber, who was Jewish, and Jules Stein, who was Jewish, played an intimate role in Reagan's successful gubernatorial bid, as well as financing his later campaign for president of the United States. When Reagan was president, his attorney, General Edwin Meese, notably quashed what had been an ongoing investigation into MCA's organized crime ties. Okay. Now, more specifically, MCA had hired a high ranking Gambino associate, Salvatore Pisolo, who was Italian, as an official representative of the company, even though Pisolo had no experience in the music or movie business at the time. Pisolo was doing business with MCA. He was also simultaneously a partner of Morris Levy, who was a Jew, and the Genovese family linked record executive behind Roulette Records, who hip hop label, what does that say? Because it cut off. Where did it say? Who hip hop label? Oh, who financed the early hip hop label Sugar Hill? Levy's connection to Andre Harrell's early employer, WINS, was noted earlier in this article. So they're all like all of this stuff is connected, and I'm going to just because it's so much, and because we'd be here all day, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit now. MCA also turned up evidence that the company was tied to the Genovese crime family. As noted earlier, the Genovese crime family had been linked to, I said Morris Levy, and also involved with some of Pisoli's dealings with MCA. In addition, during this period, the mob-style murder of retail billionaire Leslie Wexler's then tax attorney, Arthur Shapiro. Okay, we already said Leslie Wexler was Jewish. His tax attorney, Arthur Shapiro, was Jewish. And well, since Arthur Shapiro died, well, who do you think replaced Arthur Shapiro? Don't look. Don't look. Don't look.
Another person of the same
Well, of course, is a Jew. Epstein.
no, Epstein. I was gonna say Clive Davis.
No, it was Epstein. Oh, thank you so much, T.O. Thank you for gifting those memberships. That was so sweet. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that is sweet.
Because I'm struggling to get through this, y'all, because this is just so much. And I feel like I'm being boring, but I just had to talk about this. And again, it's more to this, but what'd you say?
You have to break it down because you can't just say Clive Davis. You have to
Oh
know
no.
why Clive Davis was assigned to Diddy.
And
And I'm
why
gonna leave it at that.
and how he came about and all of
Yes.
it's just crazy to me. Like it's just so freaking crazy to me because all these people they were engaging in similar activities as Diddy. And I'm gonna have
So
to
they did wait, well,
Go
okay,
ahead,
before you get to it. I was gonna say, so they did the same kind of parties back in the day, they're saying?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. I'm sure Marilyn was there.
before I even because I got to put a pin in this now.
Okay.
Where no, you're good. Okay. Remember, we were talking about Uptown Records. So Uptown Records, we know Andre Harrell was there. I told you guys, Guy was on Uptown Records. Now, here's something, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just want to put it up. You know what? I'm gonna wait. Because Aaron Hall, and y'all probably already know what I'm gonna pull up about Aaron Hall, because Aaron Hall was a nasty son of a gun. and we're, I'll put up in it because we're going to talk about that a little later. Thank you, Luxury Bucket List. I would love for you to rewatch this because I need the views. I really do. Okay. So back to where we are. And again, it's so much with this now. Between 1994 and 95, now we know what's going on in 1994 and 95. Biggie. We got Biggie, because at this point,
Mm.
Puffy has already formed Bad Boy, and we're gonna get into that. And he forms Bad Boy with Kurt Burrows, and his distribution deal was with Arista Records, who was backed, which Arista Records was Clive Owens' label. Now Clive Owens sold the label to, I can't remember who it was, but it's gonna come up. But he ran that label like it was his own fiefdom, and he was doing a lot of stuff. And some people think, and I don't know, them this may get taken down off YouTube. We'll see how it goes.
I have it on mine too. Let's see what they.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Yes, something to think about. You already know where I'm gonna go with Aaron Hall. You already know, because that dude he's pretty nasty. Okay, but anyway, back to where we are. So between 1994 and 1995, MCA was acquired by the Brofman family. Now, we had already mentioned the Brofman family. Sam Brofman. Now, the Brofman family, who was Seagram's. Now, the Brofman family also took control of Def Jam. The Brofmans, like MCA, have, what did it say? Like MCA itself, has an extensive history of organized crime connections. So much stuff. Okay. Charles Brofman teamed up with Leslie Wexner. Now, Leslie Wexner, Bed Bath and Beyond? Not Bed Bath.
Yeah.
Bath and Body
No,
Works.
it's Bath and Body Works, and then the Victoria's Secret.
Yes, the limited company. That is Leslie Wexner. Yes, so that's him. So these guys, these dudes. Okay, so he teams up with, where was that? He teams up with Leslie Wexner, and they have this mega group. Okay, where was I at with the mega group? Where am I at? Okay, here it is. Okay. Teams up with Leslie Wexner, and at this point, we already have Jeffrey Epstein on board. And where is it at? Because I want to make sure I got it right. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, here it is. Now they create the study group or mega group, and Austin's, what is that word? Ostensibly philanthropic organization that was chiefly focused on philanthropic.
So, this is the scam.
Yeah, was focused on ethno philanthropy and philanthropy directed at promoting Zionism. Can we say that Zionism?
Okay.
Zionism.
I don't think we. I don't know.
You can't say that on YouTube. No, you can because I've heard people say it. Yeah. Promoting Zionism and financing aspects of the state of Israel. See where we're going here, you guys. See where we're going. Okay.
So basically, they were running these orgies to go support Zionists.
Well, I don't know if the orgies had anything to do with it. Now this is what I think, and we may have to we may have to disconnect a little bit later and go on Rumble. But I'll say, I'll say it on here. This is it for entertainment purposes. This is my conspiracy.
Entertainment, not real.
I don't look, I make stuff up in my brain all the time. This is what I do think. I think some of these people doing this stuff were rituals. That's what I think. Because I forgot one part. We got to fast forward back. So back when Diddy was at Uptown, I don't know how I friggin' missed this. When Diddy was at Uptown, and chat probably knows what I'm talking about. Diddy put on a party in a community college. And at this part, it was a concert, and it was in this gym. Yes. So at this gym, it was LL Cool J and Heavy D, because Heavy D was signed to Uptown at the time. By the way, damn near everybody that was signed to Uptown dead now. Heavy D dead. Andre Harrell dead. Kim Porter dead.
Everyone but
I'll be sure, except I'll be sure.
He the only one.
I'll be sure was almost out of here. And I think Diddy was trying. Yeah, it was very sick. Yes, City College. Look, luxury bucket list be on it. So it was at City College. Now, something happened. Oh, there was a stampede. 9 people died, you guys. 9 people died. No one knew about this story in
Mm, 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 mm.
1991. Now, the police even said that the people that put it on were very matter of fact about it, and they put blame on Diddy. Like the police officer, he put blame on Diddy. 9 people died. You know how Astro
People
World had
died?
all that, you
So
know.
why didn't oh, you know why? Because they were all 9 black people.
No, I'm going to tell you why I think it wasn't a
Mm,
thing. I think it was a ritual, and I think Diddy was a Fed then. That's what I think. I have nothing to substantiate this, but I
mm.
think he was already juiced up and connected
I
because remember, he's working for Andre Harrell.
Imma say this.
Yes.
I don't think we can agree to disagree. I don't know if it was a ritual, but I think you're on to something for sure with that Fed thing. Because he was a Fed, they had to protect him.
Yes.
I do think that.
And here's the thing, he wasn't the only one. Charles Manson was in and
True,
out of prison, for years
true.
before he committed the Manson murders. And if you dig into that, because I have dug into that, that was
Mhm.
backed by the CIA. Okay, those murders, the drugging the people, the MK Ultra, that was backed by the CIA. If you want to know more about that, check out this book called Chaos. It's by, oh my gosh, what is that guy's name? Tom O'Neill. The book's in my basement. It's a thick book, though I haven't finished it. But that's what they do, because Charles Manson was a Fed since he was a teenager. Okay, so I think, because remember, he's working for Andre Harrell. Andre Harrell is tapped in with MCA. I told you, MCA frigging bankrolled goddamn Ronald Reagan. You know what I'm saying? It's just not out of the realm of possibility. All right, that's all I'm saying. So,
Mhm.
well, remember Astro World, which if you see the footage of Astro World, Albie Shore talking about Diddy having something to do with Kim, and then he almost got deleted. Exactly. And he wouldn't speak about that for a while too, because Albie Shore was almost out of here. So this is what I'm saying. Astro World, if you recall, Astro World, 10 people died. That was friggin'
Wow.
everywhere. That was friggin' everywhere.
Mhm.
9 people died at this thing. Nobody freaking knows about it. So I know, granted, yes, there was no social media. I get that, but it should have been it should have been national news. It should have been
True.
at the very least, it should have been national news. So the fact that it wasn't,
Mm.
little weird, little suspicious to me. But what do I know? Okay, so and we already did the links to Zionism. Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe I didn't go. I did get ahead of myself. Okay, good. Now let's do a little breakdown really quick, because I had a lot. I went through a lot, you guys. So we're going to put a pin in this, and I'm going to catch you up to speed where we're at. Now, Andre Harrell was Puffy's mentor. Puffy, and I didn't say this before, Puffy got the nickname Puffy because when he was in high school, he thought he was hot shit, and he puffed his, there was like, oh, he got his chest puffed out. That's where the nickname Puffy came from. Okay, now Puffy's mentor made millions at Uptown with the distribution deal with MCA. I told y'all all about MCA. MCA had ties to politics, Jewish mobster, the Jewish mob. They're backing friggin' Ronald Reagan. They're doing their philanthropic Zionist stuff going on. They're all over the place. Okay. And Andre Harrell, he's consultant on New Jack City. New Jack City was financed by Warner Brothers. It's a lot. Okay. Now, and we know who financed Warner Brothers, Jewish mob, whatever. Andre Harrell was okay. Warner Brothers got big through the New York City Jewish mob, Meyer Lansky, Kimmel, Z. Willman, and Sam Brofman. Sam Brofman, again, was the Seagram's family, which I did not know. I didn't know Seagram's was Jewish. What do you know? Because I use a bartend. But I don't know. I guess I didn't look into it. Okay. Now, Ross, who was the executive at Warner Brothers, frequented Robert Maxwell's yacht. We know who Robert Maxwell is, the father of Ghislaine Maxwell, a longtime girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. And Robert Maxwell was rumored to be Mossad. Jeffrey Epstein, rumored to be Mossad. Jeffrey Epstein probably got blackmail on people. We still don't have that list. So clearly these people are still around. And The rumor is Robert Maxwell was doing the same thing as well. Got me up at 3 a.m. Where are you at? Luxury bucket list. Where are you at? London? Where is that? Okay. Because it's what time is it over here? I don't even know. 10 something?
9 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. So moving right along. MCA also had ties to, not only they have ties to the Jewish mob, Meyer Lansky, Modalics, but also to the Genovese Italian mob. The Genovese was linked to Morris Levy. Morris Levy had a connection to Leslie Wexler. Leslie Wexler's lawyer, Arthur Shapiro, dies in a mob style unalivement, probably by the Genovese family, probably was stealing from Leslie Wexler. I don't know. I'm making this up. I don't know. But he died, Jewish style killing. And then Jeffrey Epstein just so happens to come into play. I think maybe a Jewish person killed Arthur Shapiro. So Epstein could get put in there. Maybe it was a Mossad, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just a girl on the internet. But that's where we are right now. You say I'm cooking. Man, look, I don't even know if we can't even get, look, I'm almost at the end. We're going to have to do a part two. We're going to have to do a part two because this was a really long article, you guys. It was. But again, I got some more stuff. Let's pull it back up. Where are we at now? And we can take a little breather. Oh, no. Because we do wait. Okay, no, we're back at Uptown. So we're back at Uptown because I gotta remember to play that video. Okay, so we're back at Uptown, and we talked about the Tisch family. Did we do? Yes, we did a history of violence. Yep, here it is, you guys. Here it is. Promoters, cops, lax. So here's the one little page, probably wasn't even front page news on the unalivements at that, that I guess it was a concert. I guess you would call it a concert. Horrible, tragic. But yeah, okay. Now here's what the cops said. All right. Again, the New York mayor's offers condemned all of the individuals involved in the event who demonstrated a lack of responsibility, as well as NYPD officers in the scene who were accused of serious lapses in judgment. Would you look at that? See, I didn't even really, because y'all did so much this, I didn't really process that. I'm going to read that one more time. Remember, the New York mayor's office condemned almost all the individuals involved in the event who demonstrated a lack of responsibility, as well as New York Police Department officers in the scene who were accused of serious lapses in judgment. Doesn't that sound like someone is an informant? That sounds awfully informant-like?
Yeah, like they got like a cover up.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Okay, luxury bucket list says that's the old mobster who'd wear his bathrobe in Little Italy. Who are you talking about?
What a weirdo.
Mo Dallas, you gotta put it in the chat. Who are you talking about? Another connection, Smallville, the blonde. Oh, and the cult leader branding people. Yes, Nexium.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, she was of the same tribe as well. Yeah, I'm hip on that. We should do it. Nexium has been done to death, but this is what they don't talk about in those Nexium documentaries. They leave that lady's a Jew. That part out. They leave that part out. And I don't know what the big deal. Some people are black, some people are Italian, some people are Jewish. What's the big deal? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being Jewish. I don't know why they always cover that up. I have a suspicion, but I don't know. Okay, moving right along. Where are we at? Okay, right. So now during this period, Combs was still at Uptown. I told you he was still at Uptown, still throwing these wild parties. And they were very violent parties. Now, here's where the plot thickens. I'm not going to read into it. You guys can read into it. Thank you. Something to think about. Yes, you guys go on Rumble, subscribe to my Rumble, because me and Nora talk about stuff that we can't talk about here on YouTube, and we get funky over there. So you really should subscribe, and because I just be saying whatever y'all. Yeah, I be saying too much on here. That's why I don't even be getting my full monetization, because I be saying stuff I probably shouldn't say. But yeah. Oh, the head of the Genovese crime family. Oh,
Oh, that's
okay.
smart.
Oh,
Actually, that's brilliant.
I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. Luxury Bucket List because I watched that show with Forrest Whitaker. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of that show. But it was a mob show, and he was acting crazy, so he wouldn't go to prison. I know exactly what you're. Godfather of Harlem. That's the name of the show. Okay, now here's the thing. So he's throwing these crazy wild parties. Now he would throw some of these parties because I don't need to have this up. He would throw some of these parties at a club called Red Zone. Red Zone was a short-lived club in Midtown. It was known for having the club kids. Now, the people that owned Red Zone, and you already know where I'm going to go with this. And there's a theme going. Okay, so Red Zone was established by a guy named Maurice Brahms, who was Jewish. And Maurice Brahms was the crown king of the New York City club scene, the former restaurateur and owner operator of infamous gay catering nightlife discotheques such as Bonds, Infinity, and the Underground. Brahms entered into the business with his South African second cousin, John Addison, a gay model who once dated Roy Cohen. Excuse me, I said Maurice Brahms was Jewish. I was incorrect on that. I don't know if he's Jewish or not. I don't know. So I can't say that.
Brahms?
Brahms.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can't
I don't know.
while I
Yeah,
look it
I
up.
don't know. I don't know if he's Jewish or not. So I don't know. But he went to enter into this business with with his second African cousin. His second cousin who was African, John Addison. John Addison was gay and he dated Roy Cohen. Cohen was Donald Trump's mentor who had close ties to the Reagan administration as well as organized crime and sexual blackmail operations. Cohen was also closely linked to the Genovese and Gambino crime families and represented, where am I at? Okay, yeah, and represented, where am I at? Who does he represent? Oh, and represented their bosses, Tony Salerno, Italian, and Paul Castellano, Italian, respectively. Maurice Brahms and John Addison's former regulars, Steve Rubel, who's Jewish, and Ian Schrager, who's Jewish, son of Lansky associate Louis Max the Jew Schrager, a Brooklyn gambling boss. Remember, Tyrone, I said we was going to make the Studio 54 connection. There it is. As fate would have it, John Addison had introduced the pair to Cohen, who would later become Studio 54's lawyer. I didn't even see there was a video here.
You're pulling up a video now?
Oh, yeah. Did it come up?
No, there's nothing on the screen.
Oh,
Make sure
my
you share.
bad.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me.
Maurice Brahms let me see. I couldn't find that man. Hold on. Let me try to go look again.
Wait, I don't like how this looks. This is too long. I gotta
They don't
change
got
the view.
I can't find him. He was some sort of disco guy, but
Yeah, I tried to search it too. Okay.
yeah.
No, it won't let me. It won't let me make it. Let me.
Big?
Yeah,
You should
hold
be
on.
able to use the little
No, I did it wrong. It's me. Okay, here it
okay.
is. Okay.
Got you.
Michael Alex celebrity dinner party at Red Zone 1989.
Okay.
What's the fare? We're going to Red Zone and then to the Copa. What's today? The 28th?
So I know who this Michael Alec dude is. I'm pretty sure Michael Alec was this guy that had like,
I don't know that name.
yeah, I think he killed a bunch of people. I think he was like a club kid and had
Let me
like
go
killed a
look.
bunch of people. I'm pretty because I remember that name and I remember it was a
Challenging me
movie.
tonight, Kelly.
Yeah, it was a
American.
movie. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, you're right,
Y'all,
Kel. He
yes.
was an American club promoter who was convicted of felony manslaughter. He was one of the ringleaders of the Club Kids, a group of New York City club goers who became a cultural phenomenon in the late 80s and early 90s. He and his roommate killed fellow club kid Angel in a confrontation over a drug debt.
Yes, they made a movie about it, and I believe Zac Efron in the movie.
He didn't get long though. He only got like 20 years. He only served like 20 years. He came out in 2014. Then he died in 2020 of an accidental overdose. What a waste.
Right. Oh no, I was wrong. It was
Ah.
Macaulay Culkin. It was Macaulay Culkin. That's it.
Oh Lord.
Let me see. Yeah, I
Luxury
remember.
said they used to party with.
What'd you say?
Luxury said they used to party with.
Oh, shout out to Luxury. Shout out to you, Luxury. That's what's up. Look, and you're alive to tell the tale. That's what I'm talking about.
You didn't have the same timely misfortune as old boy.
Yes, Party Monster. Yep, I pulled that was the movie. Yep. Okay. So yeah. I don't know what that name is, but yeah, it's all this connected. Now, this is where they're going with the story. Now, I'm not gonna get too much in it. So they're gonna go in and they're saying because these club kids were gay and Steve Rubell was gay, and the Brahms associate who was his cousin, South African John Addison, was gay, and these were gay clubs. Maybe that's why, it's not crazy that Diddy had, connections to this, these parties or whatever. But here's the thing. The parties were not gay parties that Diddy promoted. These were black parties. Okay. And they were pretty friggin' scary because somebody says, a party goer said, Puffy's parties are scary. I was always frightened when I went to the red zone. Now, I used to bartend. Here's the thing. Just because a club could be gay 7 nights of the week, but then on Saturday, that promoter promotes and it's not a gay night. It'll be black night. It could be a Latino, like that. That's how it is in DC. So for me, I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, these dudes were gay. These gay guys that own the club, but the parties that Diddy was promoting weren't gay. So what's the big deal? Luxury said I used to dance with them until 10 a.m., but was too dumb to realize they were all on X. I was sober. That's funny. And look, and here's the thing. Back in Studios 54, they were all doing Quaaludes. You can't find a Quaalude now. They don't make those anymore. And I think the dude from Wolf of Wall Street said, didn't he say he paid like $1,000, like I don't know, $10,000 for a Quaalude or something? I'm probably messing this story up. I have so much, you guys. Look, Artifacts says dropping gems, Kelly. Artifacts, I have so much knowledge in my brain. Like, okay, like Mika, that politics stuff, that girl can recall it really good. I'm decent. She's been following it longer. But when we're talking pop culture, I can recall stuff from back in the day. And here's the thing. I have so much useless knowledge in my brain, and I'm older now. It takes me a minute to like go through the files in my brain to recall it. But I have been on top of it today. I knew about the Party Monster, the Michael Alec, all that crap. So I'm doing all right. You know what? I take lion's mane. It's to help with my recall, my brain. Exactly, something to think about. We would have different nights. Once upon a time, it was, look, I'm gonna tell you something to think about. I used to cocktail waitress at the Legend. The Legend, one night they'd have female strippers, one night they'd have male strippers, another night it would just be a club night. That's just what these people, they were trying to get money. That's what it was. So I'm not gonna read into that. They want to read into it. I'm not gonna read. See, Luxury Buckler says the same thing in NYC. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to make a connection. I'm not gonna. There's plenty of gay stuff and freak offs in here. We don't need to, stretch it, in my opinion. Okay, now here's where the plot thickens. All right, 1991. So this is the same year where the terrible accident where the 9 people died. Well, 1991, Combs and singer Aaron Hall. This was alleged. Okay, so this was November 23, 2023. New York State Adult Survivors Act, which created a window free of statute of limitations during which adult victims could pursue justice against their abusers. Attorneys representing Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit alleging that in 1990-91, Combs and singer Aaron Hall took turns graping her and a friend after an MCA
Now, listen,
in their corporate
that
office.
law is a BS law. I think there should be a statute. I mean, Jesus Christ, like forever, ever, ever, ever.
Oh yeah, I get
Poor
what you're saying.
Diddy.
Yeah,
I
because
feel for him. I mean, that's BS.
it was a million years ago. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I believe this one.
Huh?
And I'm gonna tell you why I believe it, and I'm going to roll the footage. Oh, I'll say this. I'm not going to write this one off. If I'm probably 60 40, 60 I believe it.
Oh,
Okay.
because Aaron Hall's involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
come on now. Like literally 30 years, like that's over 30 years ago. Like that, like I just think it's crazy.
Oh no. I'm with you. I do think there should be a statute of limitations. I agree with you there. I do agree with you there. But yeah, and so yeah, because he was involved, and there's more witnesses. Artifacts is they wanted all the money, Kelly. Exactly. These nightclubs, they were about making money, and because some of these club guys, they went to jail for like tax evasion, like Steve Rubel did. They all skim off the top. All right. Like I worked in clubs, them jokers, they are not, I'll say back in the early 2000s, whatever, they definitely was skimming off the top. Why does it look like this? I don't like this look. I don't know. Remove. Okay, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, I don't know. Whatever. All right. So back to Aaron Hall. Now, okay, so the victim, she says they took turns graping her and a friend after an MCA records event in their corporate offices. The victim was allegedly only 16 years old at the time, while Combs was working as talent director at Uptown. Now, this is where we got to put a pin, and I pull up weirdo Aaron Hall. Aaron Hall has a child with Gloria Velez. Gloria Velez actually
Really?
Oh, you didn't? Yes, he has.
That freako?
Yes, that's his child's mother, and he got that girl pregnant when she was 16, and she was in
that's
videos.
disgusting.
Yeah, she was in videos. There's Gloria Velez. Yeah.
Share the screen. We can't see.
Oh, my dumb butt. Okay. Where are we at? How do I do
Because
this?
you need to remind people. Once people see her, they'll know who she is if they don't
Yes, she
remember.
was in all the videos. She was a
Okay,
video
now it's come
vixen.
up.
Yes.
Oh, is that what she looks like now?
This is what she looks like now. Yep. She
She
has
look
a
good.
podcast too. She has
She does?
Yeah, she has a podcast.
Shut
What
the
was
front
this?
door.
Yeah. I don't I've seen it on
Oh,
YouTube. I
she
saw
look
her
old
like
now. She's starting to
so
look
here
like
we go.
J-Lo.
The Gloria Velez holla holla video. All right. Oh no, I can't have the music because then they'll get me.
No, you gotta mute it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I see her.
No. No.
I'll know her when I see her.
Yeah, I know her too.
I think that was her in the middle. She's like Hispanic or something. I don't know what country she's from.
She's like Dominican or Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not watching this whole freaking video.
Yeah.
Y'all get she was in a lot of stuff. Okay.
I think she was in the thong song too.
That makes sense because she was interviewing.
Big.
Yeah, she was interviewing the guy. It was interviewing Cisco. But yes, she has a child with Aaron Hall, and he was a deadbeat dad too. And she had that baby. She was like 16. Now let's see if I can pull up Aaron Hall. Here it is. And this
when I saw her,
this was utterly disgusting.
When I saw her, she was dancing with
This is him. He's such a
I didn't know she was a puppy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
When I saw.
Okay, can you hear it?
Yes, I hear it loud and clear.
Okay, so he's talking to Bishop Magic Don Juan, who's a pimp. Bishop, that outfit is hellacious.
When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke and them. I didn't know she was a puppy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall. She was big, blonde hair, bone with the black pant leather. I was like, I'm getting that. When I saw her.
Okay, so that's him. He's calling her a puppy. I don't know why he's saying like who talks like this.
Oh, Well, because he refers to women as bitches, probably. So he's saying she's a puppy because she was a baby.
That is horrible.
That is horrible, but
Um,
this is how these disgusting, gross men are. Not
he
all
is
men.
that.
I'm just saying, like this
No.
particular man.
He is disgusting.
What's the other one that we talked about? The gross one that was advocating for a Kamala. What's his name? The
Oh,
one from Florida.
Luke.
Uncle Luke. Another gross one.
Okay. All right. Now this is nasty.
Yeah.
If a
We
bitch,
can't hear you.
I like
Yeah.
the fucking public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So niggas can't say nothing about it. Them square ass niggas, them precious cake little dick niggas.
Yeah.
I like for them niggas to see how I fuck. Like if you speak to
Yeah.
Jodeci or Puffy or any of them niggas,
Yeah.
they been at my house. They all see me fuck. They all know I'm a big nigga.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's important. That is important, you guys. You heard it. He says
Likes to do it.
they've seen him FUCK. Okay. He said Jodeci, he said Puffy. All right. Here's more reasons why I believe this. Now, maybe the girl saw this interview. I don't know. I don't freaking know.
No, maybe she was victimized. You know what I
Look.
mean? And
Look.
I don't know.
Oh, the plot thickens. Because in this article, they don't mention that. I remembered it. See, that's what I'm talking about, Art. I remember things. It'd be all in my brain. And then I'm like, oh, I remember this. Yes, she was too young to understand her decision. The girl was 16. And here's the thing. Did she have the baby at 16? And she was with him at 15? Because she had baby at 16.
Look at what Gloria Velez tweeted. Can I share my screen, Kelly?
Sure.
Let me share with this poor, look what she tweeted. Hold on. If you don't think grooming is happening, go ahead.
Wait, where is it? Why can't it? Where? Oh, wait. Hold on.
You have to add to the screen.
I have Oh, there it is. Okay.
If you don't think grooming is happening in this business, you're sadly mistaken. It started in 1994 with Luke and a few others in this business. I was in high school. But you know what? I'm sorry. Where was her parents? Why was she allowed to do this? Like I'm not saying that it's right that these men victimized her, but I mean, like, where were her people? Like, this is crazy. And why was that? Like, why was she even allowed on the set?
Girl, people have bad parents. But yeah, finish the thing.
Deadbeat parent. Well, yeah, that's it. You can stop sharing.
Yeah, she's right.
That's what she tweeted out.
Right. She wasn't Big Pimpin', and I can picture her in the Big Pimpin' video. Luxury Bucket List says that is a lie. That was the culture with those entertainers. My friend was 14 and sleeping with rappers. Absolutely. I believe you. Heck yeah. Look, we was talking about that earlier today. Gen X were latchkey kids. Look, I'm a millennial. I was a latchkey kid too. I went home. But here's the thing. Yeah. I was not going to no daggone club. I came home from school, open, I was at home, but I got home from school. I had to take the meat out the freezer. And if I didn't take the meat out the freezer, oh man, I got it when my mom came home. I had to take the meat out the freezer. I cut on TRL. I'd have my afternoon snack. And then if I was on punishment, I would talk on the phone until my parents got home. That's what I did. I was in that house though. But anyway, back to the story. Now we're gonna put a pin in this. Remember, he said Jodeci seen him F? Puffy seen him F? Okay, so here's why this is relevant. Okay, let me remove that screen, and then we're gonna add the screen back up so I can remember where I'm at. Okay. All right. Now, the woman, the same person with this lawsuit, alleges that excuse me. Where are we at? Okay. New evidence further suggests a culture of crime at Uptown and the label's apparent enabling of Gardner's mistreatment. That was the person. Gardner was the woman that had the lawsuit. Yeah, the 16-year-old. Okay. So, anywho, and okay, I gotta go there. Okay. Gardner allegedly amended her complaint after a sworn statement by the other woman who was reportedly raped at Hall's New Jersey apartment, also a minor at the time, was entered. The unnamed woman claimed that Devontae Swing, a member of the Uptown Act Jodeci, whose career Combs was then managing, not only voyeuristically looked on as Gardner was raped by Combs, but that the two girls had been lured from North Carolina and were staying with Swing at his residence in New Jersey, which was allegedly subsidized by Uptown Records at the time. So again, that voyeuristic watching, okay? Namely that time, and again, affiliates either watch his crimes, participate in them directly, or else view video footage of them after the act. This is Diddy, because Diddy be filming this stuff. All right, moving right along. Okay, so this is relevant. In Gardner's filing, both MCA Records and Geffen Records, David Geffen, who owned the record label, also Jewish, David Geffen's label had been sold to MCA the same year that the assaults allegedly took place. Both Geffen and now defunct MCA are owned by Universal Music Group, Jewish owned, the major label crafted by Brofman family that is now overseen by Lucine Grange, a former MCA and CBS record executive. Now, here's where the conspiracy theory, my conspiracy theory brain gets going. Remember, 1990, 9 people died. I think it was a ritual, but what do I know? Then we have 2 young girls, allegedly minors, were raped. Devontae Swing voyeuristically was watching. Aaron Hall says on camera that Jodeci seen a meth, Puffy seen a meth. So clearly there's a pattern here going. We also know that certain Luciferian cults, I don't know, whatever, Luciferian cults, whatever, do weirdo stuff, rituals with minors, with underage kids. This probably should just be on Rumble, but again, we'll see how it goes. Again, this is just
And guess what she also tweeted out? She said that P files would go to teen clubs in Miami 93, 94, and that's how she met these people. That's how she got on the video set.
Yes, they groom these girls. Or, yes, they're degenerates. But it's not just that they're degenerates. I think they're doing rituals. And y'all can call me crazy, but why did Epstein need a temple? Why did Epstein need a temple on that island? Jewish people don't go to temple. I mean, they do go to temple, but they go to synagogue. That wasn't what he had. That was not no daggone synagogue that man had on that island. Okay, it was a full-on weirdo temple. Okay, now I got to put in Jeffrey Epstein.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I saw it.
Allegedly, that's what he was doing.
Hey man, what you need a temple for? What you need temple for? I mean, you're doing something in that temple, you know. I don't know the rituals, but I know you go to temple, you do a ritual. I was raised Catholic. Catholics, we have rituals. You know, that's
true.
That's again, I don't know what that man be doing, but he be doing something. He was doing something. He was doing something in that daggone temple, and you do it a lot because you needed it there, and you have weird off freak offs going on. And I saw Eyes Wide Shut. So there. And if you want to know, the plot thickens since I'm on the tirade here, talking about all the
in the case of this.
Let me.
You're sharing. It's pulled up.
Here it is. Here the flick it is. I've never seen a synagogue look like this, but I have seen a dome. That dome looks familiar. I'm not going to talk about that. But anywho, here's the other thing. What did I just tell y'all? Told y'all Eyes Wide Shut. Remember I said Eyes Wide Shut? If you've seen Eyes Wide Shut, you know what I'm talking about. They were doing weirdo cult stuff, and it was all these elites, and they were doing rituals, and it was satanic, and blah, 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 blah. Hey, Nora, are you familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut? Chat, are you familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut? Are you familiar with the movie Eyes Wide Shut?
I've never seen it, but it has something to do with prostitution, right?
Yeah, they were hiring. Basically, it was like what Jeffrey Epstein be doing, you know. But
okay,
got you. You know,
but grown women, not children, or was it?
No. It was grown women. It was grown women.
Okay.
Now, little known fact, you know, took place in this mansion. The mansion where this party was on in Eyes Wide Shut. Do you remember? It was in a mansion. Do you remember that?
And they would wear masks, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I get.
Yes,
I remember.
Yes, Guess whose house that was in real life?
Who?
Rothschild.
Who?
Rothschild.
Get out of here.
That was the actual one of their actual mansions was filmed there. Where they filmed that scene, that was the house. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay, the chat's going. What is chat saying? Okay, my friend was sleeping with Biz and Big Daddy Kane. That does not shock me because Big Daddy Kane got what's that girl's name? Corinne Steffens. She was pretty young. Actually, I think she was a minor too. And they made fun of me because I would not sleep with them. We were very young, underage girls were not normalized. Hey man, you was being normal, and I'm glad you didn't sleep with them. I told y'all the other night when that man tried to get me to come in his house when I was 12. I knew better when I knew. So Jeffrey
Fun
was
fact, I think I know someone that was going to Jeffrey Epstein's house because
they
he
probably
grew up in
did.
South Florida.
They probably
Well,
did.
the rumor was that she was going to some old man's house and he was paying her for massages.
Oh, that's who
I
it was.
think back.
That's who it was. No, and you know what? I heard that on like documentaries, like other girls were saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was Artifacts. I don't know if he was. And if I was a betting person, I don't think he was. I don't think he was. I don't know why.
I don't think he was either.
My
I
spirit just
don't get
tells me
that
that
feeling
he was.
either.
I don't, now I do think Diddy was. I think so.
Diddy was, and because of the lifestyle his mother was living.
No.
And the father.
You didn't hear the first part. See, you wasn't here. You got to run it back. He went to this Catholic high school, and they was PDFs galore at that high school, and like a lot, like multiple,
like a priest. You're saying
multiple
allegedly
priests, faculty. It was a lot. It was a lot of that going on, and it was going on when he was there. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And like you said, well, his father died when he was 3, so I'm not gonna put nothing on his father.
His mother is involved in a lot of that.
I heard that too.
Yes.
I heard that too. I don't know if it's true, but I definitely did hear that. And to be I think that. Okay, now moving right along. Now this is this is a whole separate lawsuit or whatever. Okay. Because we talked about also in November 2023, Joy Dickerson Neal, and let me pull up Joy Dickerson Neal's photo, because Joy Dickerson Neal was a Black girl as well. Now, Joy Dickerson, let me see. Joy Dickerson Neal filed a second of 3 lawsuit assaults that targeted Combs in the span of that week. Dickerson Neal had graced a music video opposite Combs in 1990. Dickerson Neal has stated that her proximity to Combs in the video spurred a warning from Sister Soldier. Shout out to Sister Soldier. A warning from Sister Soldier, who had told the young woman to keep her distance from Combs. Dickerson Neal claims that she surrendered to Combs' constant advances in 1991, reluctantly agreeing to a dinner date. She insisted, however, that they meet at Wells Restaurant in Harlem. This is her place of employment. She felt like, having her coworkers around, it would be safer. Now that honestly does not sound that crazy to me, because I know what you guys are thinking. Like, why didn't she just say no? Why didn't she just not say no? Why didn't she just say no? When you were young, you can be stupid. You can be stupid. This guy keeps pursuing you. Let me see if this. Here she is. How do I do this? Oh wait, that's why I didn't do it right. Sorry. Let me. I got to stop the screen. And I'm going to wrap this up, guys, and we'll just have to do a part 2 because it's just so crazy. Okay, so she goes to, while she's at the restaurant, he puts something in her drink. So here we are early on. Remember the baby oil?
This is Diddy.
Huh?
This is Diddy put something in this woman's drink.
Yes, while at the restaurant. So God. That's her. That's her right there. That's her.
Poor baby.
But not least, I'm here to speak my piece to the brothers. Please take your seat. In case you're confused, like many of you are, nice clothes in a car doesn't make you a star. You can't talk.
I don't want to have the music playing. Yeah, that's her. And I don't know if this is Sister Soldier or not. But Sister Soldier, you know, she wrote those. I
Yeah,
think this is her
those
video. Yeah,
books.
this is
I
her.
love those
Yeah,
books. I was obsessed with.
yeah, I did. I was too. So anyway, that's her. Something in her drink. He kind of, pressures her to take a hit off the blunt. Now remember, this was 1991. Weed in 1991 was garbage. Pretty confident on that. But here's the thing: I think he put something in that weed. All right, what's luxury? 9 hours, okay. Luxury bucket list says I met Puffy at a club in the 90s and he tried to summon me, said he'd put me in his album cover. I pretended to not know who he was. You know what, luxury bucket list? You have good discernment. You have really good discernment because you was having fun, but you knew not what to partake in. That was me as well. That was me. It's all coming together for me. Yeah, man, it's so much stuff with this. So anyway, put something in, she takes a hit from the blunt. She felt very rubbery. Then she alleges that Combe drove her to a nearby studio, most likely affiliated with either Uptown MCA, and then raped her at a residence in the neighborhood, seemingly owned by an acquaintance of both individuals. Oh, let me put the thing back up. Because I gotta follow along because I'll get screwed up. Okay. Yeah. Then takes her to where affiliate house, studio, whatever, grapes her.
Oh
And
my God.
here's where the plot thickens again. Okay. Following these traumatic events, Jodeci singer Devontae Swing allegedly revealed to the victim that Combs had filmed her grape and was playing the footage for everyone at the studio, like some kind of perverse trophy. If true, this would mean that a myriad of Uptown employees saw this video. This was one of the earliest allegations that involves Combs and the non-consensual films of sexual assaults and grape crimes that also alludes to the possible collection of sexual blackmail compiled by Combs, a pattern that would repeat in subsequent allegations in the lead up to 2024. So now you see why I'm like, I don't know,
Pause.
Yes.
You want to know something gross? Kim Porter worked at Uptown. I wonder if she knew about all this. And if she did, why the hell would you continue to stay with him? He's a gross weirdo.
Here's the thing. You missed this part. Yes, she worked there. She was the receptionist. She was the receptionist.
I know.
And she was with Albie Shore. Now here's where it got stupid. Albie Shore.
He beat up Misa Hilton during that time too.
He beat up.
So you knew he beat up bitches, and you still got with him.
You missed it. He was beating up broads when he was in college at Howard.
Yeah. I know a lot about Diddy. I'm like obsessed with Diddy. I know a lot about all of what I just didn't know the connections with the particular people who I won't say. I didn't know about all of that. I mean, I kind of knew because of Clive Davis, but I know like a lot about Diddy, like because I've been covering this for the past year.
That's right. You were. Now, here's my thing. It's funny you brought that up. I don't really have too much sympathy for people. Now, let me be clear. I do have sympathy for Kim Porter because I don't know if she knew that or if she didn't know that because she was just a receptionist and she was with Albie Shore and he's trying to get with her. I don't see her. I think that would be a turnoff. Even if it wasn't grape, a video going around of this guy having sex with somebody else, that woman not gonna like that.
I heard that when Diddy puts his teeth in you, he's very aggressive though. I've heard that from my investigations.
That's why that woman could never get loose from him. I believe that, and we know that was the case with Cassie.
And to some extent, I feel bad for Cassie because
I definitely feel bad for Cassie because Cassie was 19 when she got with him. That's really a child.
And he met her at 16 because I think she was working with him from when she was like 16. That I do know.
I heard 19, but it doesn't really matter to me. Either one is pretty crazy. So anyway, back to the story. Okay, what's chat saying? Chat saying all those women was with someone else when Diddy got with him. I know, and they would go back and forth. She had to know he really wasn't nice. Oh, I'm sure she knew he wasn't nice. Now, here's the thing. I don't have so much sympathy for Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige,
Hell no.
I think you knew what was going on. I think you knew what was going on. I think some people just went along, kept their mouth shut so they could be celebrities. And I don't know. I will never blow up and be huge. One, because there are certain people that run stuff that I won't do business with because I'm a scary person. I'm just a scary person like that. That's number one. Number two, I will never sell my soul. I like money, but it's not that big a deal for me. I told y'all I went to private school. I didn't grow up poor. So it's just not that big a deal. Like, like I'll be okay. Like, this is how I look at stuff. Do I want money? Sure. But is it worth selling my soul over it? No, because I'm not effed up right now. It's not like I'm homeless now. I could see a homeless person doing whatever for money. I come home to a house. I'm in a house. You guys can see I'm in a house right now. So in my brain, my life's okay now. Worst case scenario, I'll still live this life. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not one of those people that's like, I have to live in this mansion on the water and blah 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 blah. Like it's just not that big. It's just like, a house is a house is a house. But I never also struggled. I do know some people when they grew, they struggled. I don't know. They're more ambitious than me. They're more ambitious. I'm probably just not that ambitious. It's just not that deep to me. Okay. All of those guys were just like Diddy. The victim became the victimized. Eventually, they all played a part at one point, and where they served up kids like Bieber. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they did to Bieber. I don't know what they did to Bieber, and it breaks my heart because he's going through it right now. And I remember when Bieber came on the scene, and he had that great voice. And if you think about it, who is killing it like Bieber went back then? There's nobody that could sing like that, right? Like all these R&B artists right now, they all suck. Jacquees, whatever. People can't sing anymore. And we're gonna get up to Clive Davis, and then we're gonna close this out, and we're gonna have to do a part 2 because there's so much. But anyway, so that was what happened. So remember, the same year we got all those people that got unalived at that event in 2 grapes. All of this stuff seems ritualistic to me. Okay, it seems ritualistic. It's weird. And again, we're gonna get into Clive. And they all was doing stuff together, because we're going to get to it. But supposedly, allegedly, Clive was doing stuff with Diddy, and then Diddy's business partner, Kurt Burrows, who he opened Bad Boy with, they was having something going on, Andre Harrell. And I'm going to say this, and this, y'all could think, y'all gonna say, oh, well, you saying this now after the fact? Nah, y'all just gonna have to take my word on this. I always thought Andre Harrell looked gay. I always thought that.
He died recently, right? He's not alive anymore.
No, he's not. Yeah, but
COVID.
He just seemed gay to me. And that's not me being mean or funny. I have a lot of gay friends. I like gay people. He just looked like a gay man, and I've been around a lot of gay dudes, and he gives homosexual to me. I just, so when it came out, this stuff, I said, I can see that, and here they are at that white party. Is this Ruben? No, this is Diddy's white party, probably. And you know who else had a white party? Michael Rubin, who's also Jewish. Does this seem like a heterosexual man to y'all?
Well, what about Farnsworth Bentley? He had that. I mean, come on.
Well, here's the thing with Farnsworth. Farnsworth used to steal. Farnsworth
really?
Yeah. He seemed gay to me too. But Farnsworth has a whole family. I don't know what's going on with him, but he did used to steal. That's why Diddy got rid of him. He was stealing. Diddy used to have a room, and they would give companies would give him free stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
swag,
all kind of stuff. he was with J-Lo. J-Lo had these really expensive boots. They was in that room. Bentley stole them boots. That's what happened.
But he kept him for years after J-Lo.
Maybe he kept stealing. I don't know, man. or me. I don't know. But that was, I'll say allegedly. That was the tea, according to Gene Deal. And Gene Deal ain't been sued yet. So you do with that what you want. Now, so again, all this, yes, the industry is wicked. It's demonic. It is like all these people are weird. And it's still weird stuff going on. And we're gonna have to we'll do a Rumble exclusive video where we're talking about the Luciferian cult separately. Laura, if you're interested, we could do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I will do it. Because that's some these elites are freaking weird. And there has been, this isn't my conspiracy. Some of this stuff has been substantiated, the Luciferian cult stuff. Okay, so remember, we got the two grapes, and those 9 people. Ritualistic to me. Now, moving right along. Let me add the stage back to the and again, we're gonna close this out because we're gonna get up to Clive Owens, his nasty self. Clive Davis. I'm all over the place. Clive Davis. I think Clive Davis, and this is just my opinion. I don't know anything. I think you killed Whitney Houston. That's what I think. I think she was sacrificed to. Yeah. I think she was a sacrifice. Okay, here we go. Clive Davis.
I think he killed her allegedly. Well, or had something to do with it, or allowed it allegedly, because of the fact that she couldn't sing anymore. And she was worth more dead than alive at that point, because she did a terrible, terrible show at that Grammy pre-show that he had for her.
And they went on and had the party. How disgusting was that? So yes, I think I think that was a sacrifice. I think he's in that Luciferian cult too. I'm going to tell you who else I think was a sacrifice. I think, and I have never told anybody this, I think Eazy-E was a sacrifice. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts behind Eazy-E. Okay. Eazy-E, supposedly the story is that he did not get HIV from a woman because supposedly his kids were born without it. His wife was born without it. I mean, his wife didn't get it. The girlfriends didn't get it. I think one of them broads got it. That's just what I think. But whatever.
One of the doctors came on and said that the women that he slept with treats with him. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay, I think somebody got it. Now, it is a fact that it's hard to get HIV from a woman. It's not impossible, obviously, but more likely it's through blood, semen, not as much vaginal fluids, but it's not unheard of, obviously. Now, the story is, and we all know the story, that there was a fight and that, what's his name? Dr. Dre, Suge Knight go to the studio. They beat up Eazy-E so Dre can get out of this contract. And supposedly Suge injects Dre with the dirty needle, and that's how he got it. Now, Easy. Who did I say?
Yeah. You said Dre. Sorry.
No. You got to stay on top of me because again, I told y'all I got so much stuff packed in my brain. So this is what I think happened because Suge actually told the story, but he didn't say he did it. He just said this is, and I may be messing it up a little bit, but he
made a joke. He went on the evening show, made a joke, and said, "Well, anything's possible. Like a joke about it, like alluding to it." And it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like he was half-ass freaking serious about it.
Now I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I don't think it was Suge. I think it was Dre. And I'm going to tell you why I think it was Dre. I think it was Dre because who is a billionaire right now and who's in prison right now? Okay. That's number one.
And that situation, I think, has connection to the group you named.
Oh, I'm going to say it. Okay. I'm going to say it because, hey, man, nobody's above critique. And that is what it is. Now, back to this story. Bucket List says, wow, Okay, back to this story. I think it was Dre because again, Dre's a billionaire. Dre's out right now, Suge in jail. Now, when it comes to certain individuals don't go to jail. Now, Eazy-E had the rights or had Dre under his contract. Who backed Ruthless Records? I'm going to tell y'all, Jerry Heller. Jerry Heller was Jewish. Okay. Now, and Jerry Heller was known for doing terrible deals with people. But Jerry Heller was Eazy-E's, business partner. Now, who had something to gain from Eazy-E dying? Not just Dre, because it wouldn't. People could say, well, oh, it was Suge too, because Dre could have got out the contract and signed to Death Row. Okay, yeah, but in my brain, who would benefit more? It would be Dre. And again, Dre's out right now, and Dre is a whole billionaire. So do I think a sacrifice might have been met? Yeah, I do. And remember, Jerry Heller was Eazy-E's business partner. So financially, he had something to gain. He had something to gain. Now, often in these crazy stories, and y'all have seen thus far, some people nothing happens to, and some people that are Black, something happens to. But often there's a Jew connected to the music industry. There, I said it. Dre was protected by Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine was not Jewish, okay? Because I don't want people to say, oh, she's anti-Semitic. Jimmy Iovine, not Jewish. He was Italian. He was Italian, and he is the record executive over at UMG. Okay. Whew. All right. Again, I got all my brain going, everything in the brain. All right, now. Moving right along, we're going to close this out. So we finished with the grape allegations. Now we go into Clive. All right. Now, eventually, Andre Harrell left. He had fired Diddy because Diddy was getting too cocky. Diddy ends up forming Bad Boy. Diddy forms Bad Boy with Kirk Burroughs in 1993. Now, Diddy signs a distribution deal with Arista Records worth $15 million. So now he got two mentors, Andre Harrell, now Clive Davis. Now Clive Davis, well, he's a real big wig. All right. And Clive Davis, let me move this out the way. So Clive Davis was a nasty man. And Clive Davis, prior, of course, to this, was already well known in the music industry. And he was the founder and president of Arista Records. Arista Records was originally founded as part of Columbia Pictures music label portfolio. Arista entered into a joint venture with Combs Bad Boy. The label had been sold by Columbia Pictures to BMG, a German media company. I do not know who runs BMG, so I don't know if it's Jewish. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, guys, because I am trying to give you all the races now. However, Davis controlled. Okay, so they sold it, but Davis controlled Arista Records as if it was his personal fiefdom until 2000, when the label he had to leave the label due to BMG's age restriction policies for executives. We need some term limits in Congress. But anyway, back to the yeah, they forced him out. He was too old.
You're not playing.
They said at 2000, you gotta get the boot. You gotta get out of here. Okay.
Get out of here.
Yes. So Bad Boy attached itself. Okay. So after this, Bad Boy entered into then become a joint venture with Arista a few years after Davis's departure. Shortly thereafter, so remember, so he does the distribution deal with Arista. Clive gets old, but he sells it, but he's still the president, still running things. BMG forces him out because he's too old, and then he does he does another, I guess, re-ups the contract or whatever with Arista, and shortly thereafter, Bad Boy attached itself to Brofman controlled interest in the music group, which we will come back to. Now, we've already talked about Brofman. As y'all recall, Brofman was a Jewish family, Seagrams, the whole bit. And now we're going to touch a little bit about Clive Davis. Clive Davis grew up middle-class Jewish family in Crown Heights, went to New York University, became a lawyer, and that's what he did. Now, let me scroll up a little bit. And again, we about to close out, I promise y'all. So there he is. Now, 2 years after he graduated, he joins a large white shoe firm. Now, I don't know what a white shoe firm is. Is that a law firm? It must be a law firm. Yes, it is a law firm. Okay, it's a law firm. It's a prestigious old line and traditionally conservative law firm. Those are in New York in the East Coast. Okay, because I sure didn't know what that was. And at this law firm, this prestigious law firm, it was ran by the names of Roseman, Jewish, Colin, I'm not sure what Colin was, Kai, K, Peszkek, that's Polish, and Freud, German. Sam Roseman was counsel to Franklin Roosevelt and Harry Truman. I just thought that was kind of interesting. And moving right along.
I agree.
Yeah. So, and then they're saying like they had certain connections. Okay, they had they're talking about his clients. We're not going to get into his clients because this is a soft shoe law company. They're going to have some big clients, and of course, some of these clients are going to be connected to drug. I don't care too much. I mean, you're a lawyer. You're supposed to represent people. Okay, now moving right along. Now, Clive started in the music industry through the career at Roseman and Colin. Remember, he worked at the soft shoe law firm, and under Roseman. Now, Roseman, while working at this firm, they had CBS as a client. Davis was hired to become assistant counsel of the CBS subsidiary Columbia Records. He became the label's general counsel for a year. Davis had been hired by Harvey Shine, Jewish, a former colleague of Davis at Roseman and Colin. Okay, Shine was a protege of William Paley, who was Jewish, longtime head of CBS and father of modern broadcasting. So he's really up here with, middle-class Jewish family, which I never heard of that, but okay. I'm going to say it. I don't know too many Jewish people, but all the ones I know, they all got money. But whatever. I'm sure there's got to be some middle-class Jewish people around. But hey, picked himself up by his bootstraps, and he's working for people that work for FDR. Shout out to you, Clive Davis. So anywho, in the mid 80s, do I want to get into that? I got to get into it because it gets kind of dark. No, we'll put a pin in it. We'll put a pin in it because it's all going to be full circle. Because then they're going to start talking about Lauren Tish. Remember, who worked over at CBS. And then it goes back to the mega group, which is Wexner and all of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I think it was some ties to, oh my gosh, who's that guy that was doing the stuff with Abercrombie and Fitch? You know who I'm talking about. The other Jewish.
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Nine Gardners, nine whatever. I can't. Peter Nygaard. Peter Nygaard. Who? Yeah. Make America Great Again. I picked up that shade artifacts. Okay, so that is it, y'all. Look, this is 2 hours, and here's the thing: the article, it says it's a 70-minute read. It's a 70-minute. Yeah, she does say that. But shout out to Whitney Webb and her investigative journalism. I think because she's broken some other stuff, but it escapes me right now. But yeah, look, we haven't even got to the prostitution yet.
We didn't even get to the juicy stuff. I mean, the
I
juiciest
was,
stuff
I don't
was
know. All of this stuff was
the
juicy
school,
to me.
the fire, whatever. What was the thing? The event he did when 9 people died. That was pretty juicy, and how they
That was
overlooked it.
crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, I will tell you this. Clive Owens was involved in a payola incident. People go to jail. Thank you, luxury bucket list, because I really appreciate you saying it's a great stream, because it seemed like it sucked to me. My Wi-Fi went out. I don't have my great.
I think it was great. I want to be clear. I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying we didn't even get to like the best.
Oh, girl, I didn't feel nothing of it. I'm just saying this type of stuff, because it's live. I don't know. It seemed, as I was going through it, it seemed like I was being boring.
No, I just think that you had to give background to show the significance and connections with Clyde to all these people about who was
Yes.
propping him up and protecting him. That was the
Yes.
importance of you saying the names, because we had to show how deep the protection was.
Yes. Yes. Kelly be holding all that information in her head. Let it out, Kelly. Like, look, there is stuff. Nora, because Nora is my friend in real life. Something to think about. I let it out in the group chat. I am Nora could end my career in 2 seconds flat if she.
No, I would never do that to you
I
because
know
you
you
know
would.
stuff on
I
me
know,
too. And I'm very loyal. I think
I
I'm gonna
know
be
you.
real
I
with
know
y'all.
you
Like
would.
that chick that sold out, that chick that had the baby with Elon, I thought she was a scumbag
Oh yeah, she
because
was a
that
scumbag. It's
was
not that serious.
yeah,
Yeah,
like you thought that was your friend. Why would you go and do that to your friend? Like I just feel
I would.
like there
I
has to be
would.
like if you're not loyal to anyone, you're not like if you're not a loyal friend, like that shows you what kind of scumbag of a person you are. And I
And
gotta
you go
say,
to hell.
shouts out, yeah, but shouts out to Diddy. He had the most loyalist friends alive, bro.
What? And here's the thing. Yes, I do think he paid these people. I don't know. Like, yeah, because people. Well, I do. When he was doing all this stuff, he clearly was protected by the government. CIA, whatever. He clearly was protected. But yeah, I haven't heard too many people snitching on him. No, he was going to snitch. He said he was fully willing to cooperate. Artifact says the Sean Diddy Combs movie will be interesting. Yeah, they definitely have to have a movie. That's absolutely true. Yeah, thank you, Bucket List. You learned a lot. Thank
So you
that.
think
That's my
he's gonna
goal.
cooperate? That's what they're saying.
This is what I heard now, and I haven't heard anything about this because this has happened in months. They said that he's going to cooperate because he doesn't want because his sons could get charged. But I haven't heard anything about the sons getting charged, so I don't know if he did cooperate. I don't,
Right.
I don't know. But
Well, let's
I definitely. This is what I do think. I don't think he's going to get unalive like Epstein. I don't think that
no. They would have did it by now. And
they would have
also,
did it.
the feds have a 99% conviction rate. It's at the Fed level. He needs to cooperate. He's
Yeah,
going down. He's not going to win. I
that's
don't know anyone that's ever beat the feds other than the one mafia guy. I can't think of his name. It was like back in the day.
Frank.
He's the only one that's
Nikki Barnes.
no, I can't
No,
think
no,
of
Nikki
his
Barnes
name.
snitched. Nikki Barnes snitched.
Um,
Frank Lucas snitched. Um. Oh. Um.
Muff,
Did Gotti get off? I think Gotti
Gotti,
got off
that's
because he was
him.
Teflon Don.
Gotti. He was the
Yeah,
only one that ever beat them.
yeah, Teflon Don. Teflon Don. Yeah.
Yeah. He was the only person in my life I've ever heard that have beat the feds in any way. He's going down.
Mm-hmm. Or were some scared because they had dirt on their hands. Yeah, he was already blowing up people's cards, etc. He sure did. He blew up that rapper, that wimpy rapper. I can picture him
Drake?
too. No. I don't
Oh,
think
because him and
Drake's
Drake
that
fought.
wimpy. No, he did smack Drake though. Who's that rapper that he was
He's
you
he's the
know
reason Drake got like buff, they said, because he beat Drake up. Like, and Drake was like really small at the time.
Kid Cudi.
Kid
Thank you,
Cudi.
Artifacts.
That's him.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. He now this is why I say Kid Cudi's a wimp. He's out here talking about his mental health. Look, y'all, and I hate to always take it back to race. I love all races. But black people, we don't do that shit. Okay. Like, where is he from? Well, let's pull up Kid Cudi. I got some time.
Fun fact, I met him back when I used to be on the radio.
Oh, for real?
He's a very nice guy.
I
He's
believe
really
that, but he's
understanding.
also soft.
Yeah, I agree. He's soft. I'm not saying he's not. And Big Sean was nice too.
I could see
Yeah,
that.
I
Big
mean,
Sean, this Big Sean still with that witch.
yes. And he was with that one lady that he was with Ariana Grande and that one chick that died, Naya
Oh,
Rivera.
Nair, yeah. Okay, let's see where Kid Cudi's
That's
from.
another strange death too, by the way.
Yeah, because she was because she could swim. I need to do a deep dive into that. Okay,
It
so
was
it
very
says
odd.
he's from Cleveland, Ohio. So he's probably not, he probably is foundational Black American. Yeah, dude, we don't talk about our mental health problems in the Black community. And I like that about us. And we don't go get therapy. And I like that about us too. I think some people I do. Now, this is what I do believe. Look, we just want to talk. And if y'all jump off, that's cool too. I don't blame you. Okay.
I just don't
Um,
like when people go and get therapy and then like they make it seem like you need to go and get therapy because they went to get therapy. Like that's your choice, bro. I believe in getting a good glass of wine, sitting down with a girlfriend and just talking about it. Like, and I'm
people
not saying
really
you
do
would
be
do
like
that
that.
all the time, but sometimes having a conversation with a girlfriend, like I don't know. For me, I don't I went to therapy before and I don't like it. I think it was a waste. It was
Hey,
a waste of my
friend.
time.
Transparent, I did too, and it was stupid. And you know what it was? I had gone through a breakup. It was a bad
Me
transition.
too.
I was kind of
Yeah,
depressed. I went to therapy. I said, "This is stupid. I don't like this." I stopped
me
going,
either.
and I got over it. And that's what I love about Black people. We don't do the whole therapy shit, and I'm fine with that. Now, do I think now some people that have gone through traumatic events, I can see them needing to talk to somebody. Cool, but
Right.
sometimes you need to maybe work a second job. Maybe you got too much free time on your hands. Maybe you need to crack that
True.
Bible open. And here's what Hollywood does. They
That.
try to demonize. They try to demonize. Oh, Black people. They always say, oh, you don't need to go to therapy. You just need to pray it away. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You do. You
Okay.
do.
You do. Like knock it the flick off. Now, again, I'm not saying nobody should go to therapy. Yeah, you've been through some trauma, molested or whatever. I can see
Yeah,
that.
like trauma, like you witnessed like a mass shooting or something like that. Like
I can
I
see
get
that.
that, but
I
like
get that too.
I don't or you were raped, you know. But
Again,
other than
a
that,
traumatic event, yes. Or
maybe
I will
yes.
say this I sooner agree with life therapy than friggin'
Like life coaching, like
a life
coaching.
coach because some people I had a friend, she needed help with things. Like she could not
Mm,
certain
she
decisions
couldn't
were made.
navigate.
She
Mm,
had a hard time navigating some things. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
thought about it. I said, "Oh, she need a life coach. She needs somebody to tell her, really, just somebody to tell her what to do. Like, hey, man, maybe you keep having all these breakups because did you think you're the problem? Did you think maybe you're selfish? Like sometimes you need somebody to straight up tell you what it is and what
yes.
you need to do than friggin' therapist. So I further support
Mm.
that than the other. But yeah, where was I? What was we talking about?
We're wrapping up. We're talking
Yeah,
about
we were
therapy,
wrapping
like
up. Look,
why it's a waste. And what were we
it's
saying about it with Diddy? Oh,
oh,
maybe Diddy could have used therapy. Maybe that was the
I
bump in the road
actually
was
I
the
think
priest.
no, I think if something happened to him as a child, I do think again, traumatic event, you should go get some help for that. And because clearly whatever happened to him
Oh,
as
he
a
claims he
child,
got help though.
hmm?
Remember, you guys? Like
Oh
allegedly,
yeah,
from
he
what
did.
I'm hearing, he claims that the last few years he cleaned himself up. Remember after the whole Cassie breakup, but then
He said,
I
yeah,
heard
he was going to church with TG Jakes. He was going to that church.
yes, but I heard that homegirl, what's the one my young Miami that she was involved in the freak offs too. So how
Oh
much
yeah, I saw
help
that
did you
too.
get?
I saw that too. And now I do believe she was procuring him to see. I think that
Yes,
part I believe.
yes,
Now I
yes.
don't believe nothing Lil Rod said. Lil Rod, that was your boyfriend. Wasn't nobody grooming you, wasn't nobody graping you. You was a
Facts. You
whole
just
grown
mad
A
you didn't
man.
get put on.
Yeah, you was a gay boy, like, and that's cool. Like, but not knock it off with the lawsuit crap and all of that. And then we got, we saw what's his name? Terrence Howard saying that Diddy was hitting on him and all of that. Now, here's my thing with that. I believe that because Terrence Howard, once upon a time, was huge. Now, I still think he's a name. I still think he's a good actor, but where his career was going, remember, Oscar nominated film.
He pissed somebody off though.
I believe him when he was not going to give up his manhood. I just kind of believe that, because not everybody going to go for that. Yeah, our artifact says 100%. Not everybody's gonna go for that. Again, some people are like Kelly, where it's like it's just not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's just not that deep for me. Like what I like to host, what I like to be, Anton Daniels level. Yeah, but I'm going to work. Anton Daniels worked hard to get where he is. I'm going to work hard to get to get there. Hopefully, Lord willing. Anton Daniels didn't sell out his soul. I'm not going to do it. And there are a lot of people in media right now, independent media. I'm going to say it, Tim Pool, okay? Taking checks by certain people, certain countries. What's chat saying?
Oh yeah, he a mess.
He could have been a lot bigger. Right. That's what I'm saying. Luxury bucket list. Terrence Howard was on that trajectory to be on Keanu Reeves level. You know what I'm saying?
I think he started talking about things that they didn't want him to talk about because he says a lot of controversial things.
Yes. And you know what? We need people to do that. Let's get off. If y'all are on YouTube and you still want to hear us talk, go to Rumble or go to X, because I'm about to say something that I don't want to say on Rumble. I mean, on YouTube, if I can remember what I'm about to say. Artifact says,